So concerning the goats, the idea of the goats is from two places. One is from the Bible, and one is from Anton LaVey, which is the Satanic Bible. Anton LaVey drew the incorporation of a goat with a man, and represented it as a pentagram. So okay, so what that means is, okay, firstly from the Bible, the goats comes from the prophecy of Daniel, which he was shown a vision of a ram and a goat, and the ram had two horns, and he was told those to represent the empires of Medo-Persia and the Macedonian or the Greek Empire. So the Persian Empire comes up, represented by the lamb, and then the goats comes and destroys the lamb and the ram, not a lamb, and he sets up his empire that covers the whole world. And this Greek Empire goes on to give rise to the Roman Empire, and if you look at Rome was pretty much Greece in the. It's sort of the relationship between England and France now, is that all the academics and the art and such gets carried over, and the language especially gets carried over. And then the system of the gods was the same, just under Latin names from Greek and such things. And then, of course, Constantine built Byzantium, which he changed the name to Nova Roma when he built it, and then it became Constantinople and now Istanbul. So Byzantium was a city that was created by the Greeks. They went to the temple of Apollo and the high priestess of Apollo. She told them to go, and she gave them a description of where they should build their new city, and they went there and they found the place as she described, and they built Byzantium there. So from that came the Christianization of the world, the Christian Empire, for about 1,000 years, almost 1,000 years. But which of course eventually fell back to Rome after the Ottoman Empire took over Constantinople. So the goat doesn't just represent Greece; it represents Rome as well. So what has this got to do with the word goat in English? Greatest of all time, or the animal, and the pentagram of Satanism. So if you look at Isaiah's prophecies about the king of Babylon, which is where the Isaiah 14, where the name Lucifer comes from, which isn't actually there. I don't know if I've explained it to you before, but the Hebrew word is not Lucifer. And Lucifer isn't a name, it's actually just an appellation for the goddess Venus. But the meaning of the word can be translated into Latin roughly as Lucifer, of the Hebrew word. So there isn't actually a Lucifer, but I'll just use the name Lucifer anyway. So I explained to you about the god of light being the god of electromagnetism, and how it's a separation. Matter and energy are separated by the electromagnetic wave being light, the photon which emanates. So there's two different gods: the matter that releases the electromagnetism, which is the sun, and then the electromagnetism itself, which is the photon wave. And not a lot of people knew this, but some came to understand it, like Akhenaten. That's why he's so highly mythologized within esoteric religions, because he figured out the Lucifer system, the god of light, the god Aten. So anyway, Isaiah describes him as somebody who is the descendant of dawn. In other words, he comes from the morning, and he says that he's the king of Babylon. And in Daniel's vision, he was shown the four kingdoms that would rise up on the earth, and the first was Babylon, and the beast representing Babylon is specifically described as a lion with wings, roughly, and it came out of the sea. Its wings were taken away. It was made to stand up on 2 feet like a man, and it was given a man's heart. So that's showing you that this kingdom is a god who not only worships, or not only serves as a god, but he incarnates himself as a human being, and that was the Babylonian Empire. So prophetically, Babylon refers to the same empire that rules the world today. That's other prophecies I won't get into. So the Lucifer god, because there are two gods. There's one is Satan, and the other one you could call Lucifer. The ones that have the most influence on man. The Lucifer god is the god of light, electromagnetism, which is the god of our cell phones, basically, our smartphones, because they communicate with that energy. So that's why I say it's the Protestant people. They are the Lucifer, the second beast of Revelation, that part of the prophecy, where Satan then is the one who sits in Constantine's seat, which is in Rome, which is the Catholicism part of the beast. So Satan and the beast are their power is through Catholicism, and Lucifer and the king of Babylon, or the second beast, that's what operates through the Protestant Empire. And Lucifer incarnates himself as a human. That's how he rules. And so that's why you got a lot of people coming up as geniuses in this last, last 300 years or so. A lot of geniuses came out creating electricity, which is also dependent on photon energy, and then creating radio, which is also photon energy. So the plan then is for the second beast to construct a system where he creates a god, a super god, a computer god, which enables people to finally have like a tangible god, which is what everybody wants. That's why you have religion. And then from there, inserts this super god called Jesus Christ in there, and then deliver that system over to the Vatican. So, and then he'll get a kingdom from that, and that kingdom is united by the dependency on the rules of the kingdom, which is using cell phones, using electricity, and that sort of thing. And if you don't want to live in that system, well, then you need to really know the truth in order to escape it. So that's why the word the goat is so popular now, the greatest of all time, is because these Lucifer children, his incarnations carrying his God spirit, are the ones that are sort of the most influential people in the world right now.